Yo,
Hey, welcome to the new meta, episode 158.
158. Can you believe it? Wow, wow,
No,
wow. Wow, wow,
every
wow.
week we got to say, I can't believe we've made it this long. How you
I mean,
doing,
every
man?
week is just as shocking that
Yeah, I'm
we've
surprised that I
tolerated
haven't.
each other this
Yeah, we
long.
haven't divorced each other
Yeah.
yet. Filed paperwork a couple times, but judge declined it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, how's it going, man? It's been storming really bad here
Yeah. That's why
in
like
St.
I'm
Louis.
in
Which,
tennis attire because I was supposed to go play.
Mhm.
And I was like on and off again, on and off again. And then, so I was like, oh shit, it's about time to do the pod. So
Oh,
here I am. Minus
showing off the
sleeves.
fresh new haircut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's been crazy. It's been storming really bad. My power's gone out 3 times. The last time was about 40 minutes ago. So I think we'll be good. But if I randomly disappear in the pod, then
Yeah.
yeah,
The
power
show
died.
must go on, you know?
Yeah. You guys will have to listen to like PoE
Would
talk or
anyone really
something.
even notice? At the
Yeah,
end of
I'm
it?
sure. I'm sure they would. You'd lull them to sleep pretty quick.
But yeah, you got a slick haircut, you know? Got
I
that.
did, man.
You cut
Yeah.
the corn rolls.
Yeah, the
Finally.
rolls, those buttery corn rolls, Yeah, man, I had to with the new job starting soon, I had to look presentable, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Can't
Can't be rocking corn rolls.
you can't
An
show
IT
up just,
job.
looking like you're
Rolled up.
a rolled up bread roll or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know where this conversation's going, but yeah, I got a nice slick haircut, so
Yeah.
got the easiest low maintenance haircut I could think of. I was like, what can I just wake up, roll out of bed, and
Right.
not have to do anything with?
Yeah. It looks
That's it.
good. You look
Thanks, man.
normal again.
Appreciate it.
Like when we first started doing this pod.
Yeah.
You've returned to your original state. I'm proud of you.
What's up with you? Not a
You
lot.
know,
No tennis because the
yeah, no tennis is
rain,
the thing, which
so.
sucks because, like, you know, I probably had 2 more tennis sessions left in me before the surgery next Wednesday.
Yeah, we got surgery in 6 days,
Yeah,
so no pod next week.
maybe we'll see. I don't want to
Yeah.
rule it out
Okay,
because I'm a.
I got.
No,
some
actually, I
stuff-
do have to rule it out.
Yeah, I got
Damn it.
stuff going
remember.
on too that I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah.
to bring up in the pre-show.
Shit.
So I think no pod next week.
Yeah, rip,
Yeah.
rip season.
Dreams.
But yeah, you know, I'm just kind of like this week. I did like 3 days of working out because I was just like, I don't know, I was like really motivated because I just know that the end is near, kind of thing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I watched a whole bunch of videos on like the actual surgery, which is like super fucking gross, and like the kind of scars it's gonna leave, and
Got
what the
yourself all
recovery
psyched up.
time looks like. Yeah, and like some of these guys, like some of the people, like will be like, you'll feel good afterwards, and then like, you know, some like professional players, like I guess it's a pretty common injury for like baseball. And so like they'll like get back into like swinging the bat and stuff like that, and they'll like make it worse. So you have to like, you really have to like baby it, even though you feel good and you're like, oh, I can just lift. Like you just still have to like do like little baby
What's the
sets of
timetable?
like 5 pounds.
What's the timetable to like full? Don't have to worry about it ever again.
They say like you can start doing like, you know, for me, like I say, I can curl like, you know, 55-pound dumbbells or something like that. I need to start with like 10 pounds and go up like 5 pounds every month. So I mean, it could be like a year before.
Damn.
Yeah.
Long
Which
time.
sucks.
That's a really long time.
Yeah. And so, you know, I'm gonna get back on keto because like I won't be able to work out as hard, and hopefully running isn't too painful. We'll become a runner for a while or something.
Just strap that baby up, get a sling,
Yeah.
wrap it up, and then just run.
A buddy of mine has an automatic motorcycle. And so like the doctor was like, I can have you back on the motorcycle after 2 days.
That sounds not fun. What kind of guy is this?
Yeah, he's got his collection of motorcycles is the most boomer. Like he's got one of those 3-wheeler like spider motorcycles.
I mean, I'd ride that for fun sometimes. That'd be okay.
Yeah, for once. Like one time.
Yeah,
Like
it'd
I'm
be,
good.
it'd be okay to ride every now
And
and
then
then. I
he's
would
got
buy it.
like a little Honda 700 automatic motorcycle.
Okay.
Which is basically just a glorified scooter at the end of the day. Like if you really think about it.
Yeah, that's horrible. But that's cool. I
But
mean,
he's having like electrical issues with it, and so he's like, "Well, you could look at it and ride it." I was like, "Cool, yeah, that sounds fair."
Yeah, so that way you can break down on you in the middle of nowhere.
No, it's not gonna
with
like
one arm.
that kind of electrical issues. Like just
Okay,
like the interface goes out and sometimes the headlights or whatever.
Yeah, so it's like go take it out at night, Fluff.
Not at night, obviously, dude. Yeah, so I'm gonna ride that
Yeah,
Friday,
cool.
depending on how I feel, and feel good.
Nice.
That won't be like full
Nice.
motorbiking, but it's
Okay.
2 wheels. I can't wait.
All right.
I'm
Well,
doing
good
my
luck, man.
last hurrah on the motorbike this weekend. I'm gonna drive out to the lake and have my last weekend of fun.
You gonna text me post surgery? Be like, yo, I made it.
If,
Am I the first one on the list?
of course. Who else?
Sorry, I don't know.
Who else? No. Yeah, my mom's gonna take me, and that should be fun. I'm gonna stay the day at their house after surgery, which will be weird because I haven't like been back there in a really long time for like a whole day.
You still have your room there?
I live in like the basement though, so I doubt I'm gonna go down there. But it wasn't
That's weird. Your
unfinished
stuff
basement.
still there, like your bed and any posters on the wall, anything like that?
Yeah, all my medals are down there and trophies and stuff. And yeah.
When I moved out, my mom gutted my room. She's like, done.
Well, mine was a
Like,
basement, so like they didn't
she
give a shit.
converted it so fast.
Yeah.
It was like a week.
They did
I'm
that
like,
with my
"Damn,
sister and
dude."
my brother,
Like,
but like they never got in the basement, so
yeah.
saved.
So, well, let's talk about some video game stuff, man. We had a poll last week.
We did. If you guys missed last week's pod, we obviously took a deep dive into, kind of the shit show that's been happening at Blizzard lately with all the sexual harassment / being complacent charges and allegations that have been going against Blizzard, and all the stories have been coming out of the woodwork, and the quote unquote frat boy mentality that Blizzard just had, and people have been dropping like flies, left and right. We talked about numerous layoffs last week, and the head honcho himself, Jab, stepping down, and basically pretty much 100,000% gutting everyone that was in the Cosby photo. We'll actually get into just a little bit more. We don't have I'm actually surprised. I don't know how you feel about this. I'm a little surprised there hasn't been even more this week. Like last week there was a lot, and the week before that there was a lot, but this week I feel like it's not as many leaks as before.
I don't think it's over. I think it's going to continue for a while. I think that we're going to keep hearing like XYZ's gone.
Right.
And next, I think a lot of it's low key too. I think
probably NDAs are being signed. So.
Yeah, I think people are like investigating and figuring out that these people don't work there anymore, versus like there being an announcement from Blizz or from somebody like, hey, these guys are gone. I know the ones we're about to talk about were like detective worked, into like, oh, I see that they're not there or listed.
Right.
So
last week's question was, are you done with Blizzard games after all the recent news, right? And some people have been very, very vocal, and some people have been like, nah. And some people have been like, I feel guilty for playing, but I love these games. So like, I'm conflicted kind of thing. So option 1 was yes, fuck Blizzard, rolling at 19.3% of the vote. Option 2 was no, but we demand action, was 56% of the vote. And option 3 was still playing at 24.7% of the vote.
Interesting.
I mean, it's still like, if you look at, 250 votes or so on this thing, and 20% of those people are like, fuck you, Blizz. Like, I mean, that's not a small thing. And if we were like, say, blow that up.
And it's not like, no, but we demand action is also, in my opinion, that's kind of a yes.
That's high.
Like that's like, I'm almost yes,
Yeah.
So that's a lot of people, man.
Totally.
A lot of people. So, and I think the fallout that I've seen from this in the WoW community specifically is huge. So I know that you're not a big WoW player, but for those of us that are, or like myself, it's pretty much a huge chunk of the majority, like of large WoW content creators and influencers they're dipping, man. They're making posts like, and we'll see if they stay. We'll see if they hold true. But it's like Preach. Preach was one of the big guys, and he was one of the first, I think, to do it. But there's been a lot that have followed suit, and these are guys that it's like, damn, dude, they've been making WoW content for a long time, and some of them are even like, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I don't have another game, but like, fuck this, man.
And I can't believe you're still playing WoW.
Yeah, I know.
God,
I don't think that this is the I don't think this is the 100% the reason. This is just like most people, the straw that broke the camel's back. And it's like this on top of everything else. It's just like, you know what? I'm out, man. So
Sure.
it's crazy, and we'll see if other games. I'm not in the Overwatch scene, so I don't know what's going on in Overwatch.
Yeah.
If their guys are revolting a little bit, or their communities are, but um, it's pretty nutty.
It's a weird time for sure.
Yep.
And then next week's question, which I know some people are freak out about because it's not Diablo related, but it's pretty controversial time for Path of Exile right now. Also, so new meta podcast of the week, or question of the week. What's your take on Path of Exile's controversial 3.15 patch? Option 1, a total shit show. Option 2, needs work. Option 3, Pog, game is better. Go ahead and tweet that out and let you guys vote. And we'll talk about that at the end. We usually say Pee-wee best for last. And we'll dive into some Diablo stuff. So, we briefly talked about it last week, but they were going to do a PTR pop-up for the really constant freeze spikes that happen. Like pretty much, in our experience, it's been like, okay, once you hit like GR90, you just get like bombarded and you have to do the whole like disable sound thing, and it's a mess.
Yep. Totally depends on what class you're playing and how high you're up, but eventually you'll experience it. You keep climbing, you keep getting bigger parties, and it's huge, hugely horrible.
And so they did a kind of a PTR pop-up, which is not something we've seen very often. I think only like maybe once or twice before in Diablo 3's history. Like a mid-season pop-up for them to try to figure out what's going on. And so they've updated the PTR at least, I think, 3 times since then. So hopefully they're coming to some kind of solution. The latest update was from Filthy Rich, who said the latest PTR pop-up is now available for download. Looking forward to hearing news from people's performance from everyone that has time spared for testing. So looks like they're still trying to figure it out.
Cool. I hope that they get the data that they need. I think this has been helpful to them from what I've heard, but I hope that they keep blasting it. Man.
Yeah.
You guys, like for me, it was super easy to replicate for me. So if you guys are listening and you have buddies that play, it was Firebirds, mirror images, Greater Rift 120s, and just go in and spam it. And like we were smoking 120s last season. You just get a group of 4 people, maybe even throw like 2 Firebirds and 2 ZDHs just for spam, and it breaks the game. It literally just crushes the game. So if you have that comp and you have time to play beta, then go do that, man. Get a ZDH and a Firebirds, mirror images, and go have fun. So
yeah, if you experience any lag on live, and you're like, gosh dang, I can't stop lagging, you should literally just PTR copy, and then just like submit your.
Do what you're doing to get it on live, because that's what they need. They need that data, so to figure out what's causing it.
Totally. So get on.
But
there.
It's cool. They're trying to fix it. Like they're actively like, we can't replicate this. What's happening with you guys? Let's get the data, and so cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a great update from the D3 community, and I was kind of surprised to see it, to be honest, at the end of the day, because I thought we were just gonna like, well, this is just gonna be a thing, because it has been a thing for like 4 seasons maybe.
Yeah, it's been getting worse, I think, steadily for a couple seasons, and I think it has to do with the power of the sets and things that are happening in game. But it's, if they can get the game to play as buttery smooth, like when we do the lag fix, like I can't stress enough to you guys, it's insane. Like you've been playing with this increased lag a little bit every season, to the point where it kind of becomes the way the game feels. And it's when you start to play it without the lag, it's like, oh my god, this is a completely different game.
Yeah,
this is crazy. So if they can get the game feeling like that again with sound, like, man,
yes, please,
you guys are going to be in for a shock.
Yeah,
so.
Silky smooth.
Yep.
It's so crazy too that like sound can be such a throttle for performance.
Yeah, it's weird. So there's I've read a lot of theories on what's happening to it. So we'll have to see. They'll probably. It'd be interesting if they actually post like, hey, this is what happened and this is how we fixed it. That'd be really cool to see. I doubt we'll get that much insight, but the nerd in me would love to be like, oh, what was happening?
But in more classic Blizzard great news, we have a Kotaku article. The Jesse McCree is no longer the Diablo 4 director.
Grab the link I put below, right below that one. Did you see it?
Yeah, the tiny little link. I didn't. Was there more information than that?
Yeah, but it goes into detail about all three of them. So if you look at this, it says not only did Jesse get the axe, we lost Lewis Barriga. I don't know how to say his name properly, but yeah. Lewis. Yeah, we lost Lewis, who is the guy that's been giving us the D4 blog updates. He was the game director.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Jesse, who was the lead level designer, and we lost World of Warcraft designer Jonathan LeCraft. So,
LeCraft.
Yikes, man.
Yeah.
Like, yikes, man. D4 lost the game director and the lead level designer.
Mm-hmm.
Think it's going to get pushed back a little bit?
I'd be surprised if it didn't. You know, like speaking of someone that's in tech, like when you lose big people and you got to like backfill roles and stuff gets delayed.
Yeah, I'm kind of being somewhat sarcastic because it's like, damn, that's pretty huge, man. You lost your lead level design and your game director.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me thinks that like this is probably pretty bad, and part of me thinks like, well, maybe this is really good though.
Yeah.
Because
I'm obviously in the same boat.
Yeah. You don't know, like I don't know this guy. I don't know anybody that's worked with this guy, so I'm just, making up scenarios in my head, but I'm thinking like, what if this guy, obviously he got let go because he was doing inappropriate things. What if he was being that way towards his employees? What if he was a dictator and like, no, I don't like your ideas. We're going to run it my way. Or no, I'm not going to promote you, person that has good ideas. I'm going to promote my bud over here that was, doing this. So I think that he could have been holding back progress, or maybe making his staff feel undervalued or harassed at work, and then they're not going to perform very well. There's just a million scenarios where you could see this being detrimental to the game's success. And I hope the new regime is better and makes the game better.
Agreed. So. Yeah, I it's tough to sit here and sit back and be like, oh, it can't hurt because like the game is such a casual state right now. Mm-hmm. But for all we know, like Louis Barriga could be like, oh no, this game should be like way more hardcore. We're making it 2K. Like, we have zero freaking clue. So
yeah, we don't know. We don't know if this will end up being good or bad. We'll never know. Right. But
it's hard to see, as we keep saying, on the outside, it's hard to see like a big shakeup in the Diablo 4 team not being a good thing, because
itemization from what I've seen hasn't looked good. I haven't seen anything that made me go, oh, this is it. This is the game I want to play. It's been like, oh man, I don't know about that.
Right. Yeah. I think that's where we've all been. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so to me, it's like, I hope the new leadership is like, let's make this, let's go deep with this, man. Let's deep dive this. Like you have an excuse now. Like, I mean, you didn't even have to have one because you never said a release date yet, but you have an excuse now to be like, yo, let's take some time and make sure that we knock this out.
Yeah. And so like you're also, if I'm Blizzard and I'm these like people stepping into these upper management roles and there's such disdain towards the company right now publicly, for me, we have to get Diablo right. We have to get Diablo right, because if now this, everyone's hates Blizz, they want Blizzard to fail. And then, Diablo 4 comes out and it's like this casual game that we all play for like a few weeks and then we're kind of like done. I don't know if that's a nail in the coffin for Blizzard, but it's definitely probably a nail in the coffin for Diablo.
Yeah, I mean, Diablo's name is so big. If they drop Diablo 5 4 or 5 years after that, it would be hype, I'm sure. But there would be more what's the word I'm looking for? Hesitation, I guess, to jump on the bandwagon. But I still think it could carry. But yeah, I'm with you. It definitely would be horrible for Blizzard's top dollar. Let's say that Blizz contacts you. They're like, Fluff, we need a lead itemization director. I don't even know if that's a position.
Sure.
lead itemization director. We like what you think. We like what we hear.
Yeah.
They make you an offer to be lead item director.
Yeah.
But you're going to make 20% less than what you make currently at the job you have.
That's fine.
You would take it?
Yeah.
You would be like, okay.
Easy.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am,
Right.
I'll take one for the team. I'll take like half my salary to go work and make Diablo the best game possible. And then I'll just take a job like after that and make a ton of money again. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, yeah, I would totally do that. Easy.
Yeah.
The greater good.
The greater good. I like you. I like that style, man. Take one for the team.
Yeah. Plus, I don't have like, shit to worry about. Like for you, that'd be a much harder decision because you've got like kids and a wife and all that crap.
Colleges to save up for and stuff. Yeah. You're not sending your cat to Harvard,
Yeah. So easy.
Interesting. Yeah, man. So they, this article it talks about it. So you could find these sources all over from where we got this info. I got this one off of Wowhead, because I check every now and then for Wow Juice.
Toxic, misogynistic asshole playing World of Warcraft. Gosh.
So,
the nerve.
But it says that, like one of the quotes they said in this is like, we have a deep, talented roster of developers already in place and new leaders have been assigned where appropriate. We're confident in our ability to continue progress, deliver amazing experiences to our players, and move forward to ensure a safe and productive work environment for all. Like that's the quote they gave.
Sure.
And it's like, obviously that's just, PR
rhetoric.
Talk.
Right.
But it says that there are two others that were put on administrative leave, guys from the Cosby photos. And then there was also, did you see, I couldn't find the link to it, but there was a screen grab of a Facebook conversation that people from the Cosby suite had.
Yeah. I saw that one.
Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. And it was like, it was pretty bad. Talking about girls and it's not good. Yeah.
It was pretty bad. You got to trust your homies more, man, though. That's pretty shitty. Like that'd be like you and I having a private conversation and you're screen grabbing it the whole time, and then like,
oh, you haven't done that?
8 years? No, 8 years later, you're like, oh, look what
I got so much shit.
Oh man, you know what? I still have the whole. I need to go snag some of the shit we've said to each other. Damn, dude.
Yeah, we got to delete that.
Dude, yo,
I'm sure. What's the worst we probably ever said to each other? Just like dumb Blizzard shit.
Yeah, I could think of some stuff. But,
Okay.
But yeah, man, that's kind of like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Nothing that would cost me a job. I know we haven't said anything like that. No. So you know what I mean? Like there's shit that I'd probably be embarrassed about, but there's nothing that I'd be like, damn, dude. Well, I'm fired now,
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of all on that front. We assumed that we'll see more probably, in the future, but that's all the report this week. But there's a lot of D2R stuff happening.
What's D2R?
Diablo 2 Resurrected.
Oh, snap.
So Diablo tweeted out this week, they're going to do an early access beta this weekend, which is dope. I'm sure you've been invited.
I have been invited.
I've been invited as well, but I will be out of town this weekend. So, and there's no Necromancer?
No Necro, dude.
Why even play?
No Necro.
They're just triggering me on purpose.
We get Amazon and Pally this time?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Did we have Druid last time? I thought we had Druid too. Maybe we had Druid in the last one. I didn't play it last time if we did.
No, we didn't have Druid last time.
We only had Druid,
Sorceress, and Barb, right?
Barb.
And Amazon.
So Amazon's back. Okay. So it's Paladin Druid that we get new this time.
Yeah, so no Assassin, no Necro.
Yeah. I played Source last time, so we'll see what we go with.
Unplayable. I think the Druid, honestly, Druid's probably my second favorite in D2.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
I think my chat was telling me to go Pally. They were saying that Pally's super
boring, man. I don't know.
Is it?
I thought it was in D2.
Yeah, they were saying that Pally's like super, super fun. So I'm like, oh, we'll see. I don't know. I'll have to put some research in and see what we want to play. They remastered the cinematics apparently for this. Also.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah.
All right. Well, what else we got for the the weekend. So the early access starts Friday the 13th.
Yep. And they're gonna have multiplayer for the first time, so that's pretty sweet.
Yep. So.
And yeah, you'll be able to watch some of your favorite people play this weekend, and then open beta for everyone, all the other casuals that can't get an invite, nerds, is next weekend, Friday 20th through the 22nd. So poggers, and then gosh, just a month away from like next week is launch. That's crazy.
Somebody was saying that D2R was locked at 30 FPS on PC. That's not true.
Yeah, there's no way.
By the way,
yeah, it's like they said. True. Yeah,
I was playing at 144,
and they had like a whole like piece on that at BlizzCon this year.
Like, I'm a FPS junkie,
right.
So trust me. Like, I promise you, it was playing at 144. I can't even stand to play games at 60, so I would notice instantly, right. Especially 30. It was running 144.
But yeah, poggers. It's great to see that this didn't get delayed. So I guess Vicarious full steam ahead. Maybe because they're not really completely under the Blizzard umbrella. Like, they kind of dodged a lot of this. Maybe.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen a lot from the D2R team, like nothing and anything from the D3 team, so good, thank you. I mean, at least the stuff that's close to us right now is feeling safe. But
yeah, it could be exciting stuff. I'm a little sad I won't be here to play it, but it looks poggers.
That does kind of suck.
The Remastered Cinematic came out. Did you? I assume you watched this.
I haven't. No,
what?
I haven't.
Is wrong with you?
Specifically, been avoiding it.
Okay, well, don't look at the screen.
I'm not actually. If you see I'm not. I'm looking away. So you tell me when it's safe.
For me, so I was a big D2 guy. It was they like kept the same audio seemingly and like polished it up, and I thought that was a good decision. I will say that, like, I don't know, the mouth, like the way he spoke didn't really like match up for me. And I don't know. Okay. Like, I felt like the D4, like, you watch a lot of CGI scenes sometimes and you're like, I can't look away from the mouth sometimes, because like the way their mouth is moving isn't really matching up. Like, how a person
matters. And it's like, if you play a game that's been dubbed or you watch a dubbed movie, I refuse to watch dubbed TV shows, and my wife can. She'll throw on she's watching one now. I don't know where it's from, and she's like, "Oh, this is so good." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I sit down to watch it. I'm like, "Wait, is this shit dubbed?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Done, out."
What? Why?
Because it's like the mouths don't match up and the audio is always shittier. And
it'd be one thing if it was like subtitled or something, like. Yeah,
it is subtitled, but I mean, like, that's not. But it just doesn't match. Like, their mouths are
okay,
and it's like hi, and you're like, wait, that's not.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I would much rather watch a movie in a foreign language with subtitles than watch a dub movie. For sure.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. It depends, but yeah.
But they did a good job. Like, it looks good, and like, gosh, for me, as someone that. It's like watching a Final Fantasy VII, like, CGI remastered. Like, it's that level of nostalgia.
The CGI team is the best. Like, I honestly can't think of any game that's better. Like, Final Fantasy's on par, but I don't think they're better than Blizz.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, their cinematic team should just start making movies, and they'd probably make more money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just get these guys to start.
I wasn't necessarily blown away with this scene here where he, like, I don't want to spoil it for you, but
I mean, it's just the same. It's just remastered, right?
Yeah.
They didn't like add new scenes,
right.
So I've seen the old stuff.
Yeah,
I've seen bits and pieces of it now. I'm trying not to look, but
felt that could have been cooler, but but then it's just a flashback, and it's cool. It's cool. I liked it. Enjoyed it. I can't wait to see the other ones. I think some of the other ones are gonna be like really cool, like the Act 5 one will be like, I think that'll be dope, and seeing like the armies and the dude blow up, and I think some of those are gonna look really cool. But
so do you think this is the play? You think this is like the direction you would have wanted Final Fantasy VII to go in?
Literally the exact same game with updated graphics? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
What do you
I
mean
like
you don't know?
I like the remake. I like it. I don't think it's better than the original.
Peach, we can't do this. We're not gonna agree. You're just gonna trigger me. Like the fact that you like that pile of hot garbage that was Final Fantasy whatever.
Yeah, I'm not going to derail us on that, but I will say, in all seriousness, though, I do really think that they should make Blizzard movies. Like their cinematics team is so fucking good.
Yeah.
If they could take their IPs and make StarCraft movies and make World of Warcraft movies and Diablo movies and like every IP they have, they could literally just start pumping out actual movies.
Right.
And I think people would watch them. I think they would have an audience and they would sell.
Yeah. So. Chat's getting triggered by me saying that wasn't cool. I mean, I think it could have been cooler. Like I had this because this was like the coolest scene out of the start of Diablo 2, and like there was, I think, a lot more potential for this to be, I don't know, even cooler than the way that they did a good job. At the end of the day, they did a good job, but I think they could have done more. And especially from the cinematics team, because they're just like, they just constantly impress me. And again, I go back to the whole like lip move thing. Like the Diablo 4 Lilith thing was like perfection. Like the way people talked and like the eye movements and even like the moisture on the guy's face and the power of light protects him, you know what I mean? Like that whole thing, like amazing. And I had nothing to complain about there, but like this one, you can tell.
Yeah.
It was off. And
I wonder if they drew over top of the old stuff to keep it like exactly the same, like posture, moon, finger placement, cloak placement, etc., or if they just like here's the sample, let's just remake it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just started from scratch. So I wonder if that having to recreate work limited them at all, versus just being able to make like the Lilith thing from scratch with your current tools and whatever.
And maybe that's some of the influence, right? Like they wanted to stay so pure to the original that they couldn't take much liberty at all. And like the fact that they used the original audio, they obviously had to keep like the same pace with the cinematic. So that probably factored into a lot of the design decisions and stuff like that. But it's good. I mean, again, I'm not disappointed with it. Was I like blown away by it? No, but I think it was cool.
I think it's just desensitization from 2021 though. Like
Probably.
If you would have saw this cinematic
before the Lilith cinematic, I'd probably been more blown away.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, man, their team kills it, man.
Yeah,
so like I said, I haven't seen it yet. I'll watch it Friday when I boot the game up. We'll throw down and check it out and hopefully get me super hyped. I think I'm gonna take the same approach with this as I would with Lost Ark when it came out. Like I don't want to ruin the experience by grinding it. So like the game's coming out in a month. You know?
So you're not gonna play this weekend?
I'm gonna play it a little bit, but I'm not gonna go nutty. I'm not gonna like play 24 hours a day the entire beta. I just don't think it's. I think that would just take away from the launch experience of the game when it actually drops, and it's so close. If it were like, yo, it's gonna drop in 6 months from now, I'd be like, okay, let's go ahead and let's grind it a little bit. But literally, we have like a month.
Yeah.
When the alpha ends, or where they call this alpha, beta, I don't know what they're calling it. Whenever this beta ends, like
early
30 days.
Beta,
yeah, 30 days and boom, we're playing the actual game. So,
all right. So, predictions.
Okay.
In chat, you guys can chime in with your opinion. So, not D4. Diablo 2 Resurrected launches September 23rd.
Okay.
Obviously, it's going to be banging for those first 2 weeks. How long do you think it will take for D2R to dwindle off?
The next season of PoE.
I concur.
Yeah. I think GGG kind of got knocked back a little bit this season. I don't think they expected the take on this season to go the way it did. And there was the podcast that they did. I forgot the name of it already. It was yesterday. Yeah, and I want to watch that. I'm actually before the next pod. Actually, probably before the weekend's over, I'll end up watching that in my spare time to see, because I really am curious on Chris's take on the negative feedback, because that's all I get is negative. Like I have a couple people that are like, "Oh man, this season's good," but for the most part, everybody's like, this season sucks. That's all I've really kind of heard. And so I'm curious what Chris has to say, but I think that GGG is going to, I think they'll step up. I think this is a good opportunity for them to be like, okay, we hear you. We're going to step up and pump out some good content for the next league. So
yeah. I mean, I kind of agree. I think that obviously the Diablo guys that are still playing Diablo 2 to this day, like we're not really including them in this conversation because like this is gonna be the best day of their lives, right? Like
Mr. Llama's gonna play this 40 years from now,
right?
You know what I mean?
He'll be
still playing D2.
Geriatric, being like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a speed run today." So yeah, I think that whole crowd's gonna be really pleased, and certainly the people that have played it a lot will enjoy it. But I do think that there'll be a lot of initial excitement and a pretty quick tamper off. I don't think it'd be like, Diablo 3 season launch tamper off of
no, I don't think so either.
Yeah, but I think it'll be. I think there'll probably be. What would you guess? So it's like, we'll say like maybe 3 or 4 weeks in the season, there's like 10,000 in the directory, maybe. Depends, I guess, if any big streamers are still playing.
Yeah, it depends. Like that's so hard now because you have these guys with massive viewership,
right,
that will show up and and then view bots and shit like that too. So it's hard to say exactly, but I would say the general hype is going to be crazy at launch. You're going to have people from PoE playing. You're going to have people from Diablo, Diablo 3 playing. The Diablo 2 guys are playing.
Yeah.
You're going to have guys that from World of Warcraft probably going to jump in there. I'd be surprised if we don't see some of those big streamers jump in at least for a couple days.
Totally.
I would say the dust will settle after 2 weeks. The big guys that are just there for the hype are going to be gone. And then you're going to be stuck with the guys that are like actually like, okay, we're going to play the game for real.
Right.
So yeah, man, I say a month after the directory numbers will probably be balanced out. And I think 2 months after that's going to be like you're going forward for a while. But I think it'll just continue to taper. In the first, are they calling them seasons in Diablo 2 leagues? Like
what's their ladders again, right?
Ladders, yeah. I don't know. I'm assuming they're just going to
talk about that in a second
ladder
too, actually.
Whatever. But
yeah,
6 months I think is the reset cadence that they're going for. Have they announced that?
I don't think so.
For some reason that's stuck in my head. I don't know, but if it's 6 months before the next ladder, then that's a while, man. I think by the end of the reset, it's going to be lower.
But it's interesting you bring up the ladder because we have an image that I would not expect. I would expect. Oh, okay. We will have some more information on seasons and ladders. I would expect it wouldn't be right at launch for the start of one and more around a different time we specify after launch. So it sounds like they're not even going to have like a season/ladder at launch.
And that could be a smart play for balancing and bugs. And, what if somebody finds, oh, hey, Crusader's broken, and you know that you could like speed clear the whole game in 5 seconds using this exploit? Oh, let's fix that real quick.
Yeah, maybe.
So I don't know.
I mean, I do think like in a game like D4 that's a good play. Like, so say D4 came out and there's 0 season 1, like, right? Like that's, the game comes out and you're getting to know the game and like, that's it. Like there's not going to be a theme or anything like that. It's just like you get the game finally after all these years. I think that works in that formula. Yeah. But I think for something like this that, I don't know, I think that's kind of weird. Like if I say, 10 years from now, D3 Remastered comes out and like there's no fucking leaderboard, like there's no season when we go to play again for the first time. Like that was the whole new reason I still played Diablo 3 at this point, is to like push that board and try to maintain rank 1, like those first few weeks. Like that's the whole point. So I think it's kind of cringe. But
yeah, I could see them. So like, let's just say 10 years from now they do, let's say 20 years from now, because I don't think 10 is long enough. 20 years from now they do a Diablo 3 remaster and they put it out. I would, if they did a month before the season hits, I don't think I would freak out about that. I'd be like, okay.
I wouldn't play launch probably. I'd be like, well, I'll just wait until.
Oh, sure, I'd still play. I could see both sides of it. I do think that given that the game hasn't got any changes, why? You know what I mean? Like, okay, so there's nothing new. So why aren't you doing it at launch? Like, what's the reasoning for that?
Mm,
And the only thing I can think of is just we're beta testing the game.
right. I think what
Testing,
you said was originally was probably pretty on point. Is that they're worried that something
bugs.
snuck through and it's gonna ruin like the whole ladder or something.
Yeah, I think that's kind of just the way of the future, though. We basically beta test games forever now. Like, what game doesn't have a day one patch or a week one patch and then 1 month patch and like all these? Oh man, we're fixing all these bugs. Nothing. It's just 2021.
Yeah,
It's just the way gaming is.
Yep. And then this tweet, the TCP IP support will
Yeah, so
not be available. So like local play is not.
I mean, I don't play D2 now, but
the people freaking out about this is like, dude, like
you got battle.net. Okay, so here's my hang up, right?
Yeah.
You got battle.net, you can play with anybody you want on your battle.net save file. So, okay. If you don't want to do that, then you must be interested in modding. You must be interested in playing modded versions of the game, which is totally cool because some of them kick ass.
Or duping stuff locally. Like,
yeah, whatever, right? Maybe you want to, maybe you know, that's your thing. You and your buddy dupe a bunch of gear and go have fun. I don't care what makes you have a good time. That's totally your prerogative. But if you, this isn't a big deal to me. Like, this is a handful of people I'm sure are pissed off about this. But like, you can still play the game with your buddies on BNet. Sure. Like, you'll be fine. Bud.
To me, this is like when people complain that D4 won't have offline mode. It's like,
yeah,
just stop. Just stop. Like, just get with the times. Like, I
get it, man. Not everybody can live in spots where you have good internet. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand it.
Yeah.
But even that. Okay, so that being said, like, my parents live in an area still to this day that doesn't have high-speed internet. They have to use satellite. You know, and you can't game. If you ever try to game on satellite internet, you can't do it. Like, it's horrible. And it's like, okay, I get it, but like, I don't live there now. But even if I did, I still wouldn't bitch about a game being online only because I understand. Like,
right.
I get it. I'm in a shitty scenario that screws me over, but I understand why it's an online game.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of the same thing with this. It's like, I understand that I want to play with this mod that lets me have god powers, and I can't do that with my buddy because we got to play the official game.
Yeah.
It sucks, sure, but
I think a lot of people, the type that will bitch and complain, and like there's no offline, there's no like local play. Like, they're not really thinking it through. They just don't know enough, maybe, of how like the integrity of the game can go down by making it like so readily available offline and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's kind of like a greater good situation.
This could also be an anti-cheat or an anti-piracy move as well.
Yeah.
Because if they had the TCP IP in there, then you could be like, oh, Fluff, I'm just going to steal the game. Let's just play together. Here's my IP. You know, it's built in the game. Now I don't have to use battle.net. Sweet. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Like, it could be a lot of reasons why they took it out, but yeah.
And then the last little bit of news, because, you know, we know that the purists of Diablo 2 want exactly that, pure Diablo 2. And we have some more changes. We know, we have confirmation from Pez. The ladder rune words will be available in single player. So yeah, there it is.
That's a pretty big not
change.
The way it works now. And that's a pretty big change.
Yeah.
Like, that's one I could see people being upset about, you know.
Yeah.
That was in my, like, and again, I'm not a huge D2 player. I don't know much about it. This was one of the biggest reasons to play ladders, from what I remember people saying, was to get the rune words. So if they're gonna, it's like, that'd be like them throwing the seasonal themes in Diablo 3 into non-season. And it's like, well, that's the whole reason why you play the season.
Yeah.
It's the reason for the season. So yeah.
That's the thing.
How do you feel about that? Do you care?
I mean, I don't care. To me, like, this is kind of a moot point, especially if they're trying to like actually do something with seasons in D2R. Like, if they actually have a plan in place of like, is it just gonna be a ladder reset, or are they actually gonna do like a theme? Like, we don't know anything in that department. But yeah, I think that this is like, to me, again, I think this is irrelevant, and it's probably only going to piss off the purists, and I tend to piss off the purists like all the time anyways, so.
I'm not a purist on D2R because I haven't played the game. So to me, I want the quality of life. Like I've had conversations with people that are upset about some of the here's like auto gold pickup. Like there are people that are pissed off about auto gold pickup. And if you sit down and have a conversation, I can see their point of view. I really can, because there is a valid point of view that they can have for auto gold pickup. But at the same time, to me, it's like, well, I don't care though, because I didn't play D2. And like, am I going to experience it the exact same way that you experienced it 20 years ago?
Right.
Nope, I'm not. But that's okay. I'm going to experience this game. It's a good game anyways, in a way that I'm used to. Like I'm used to auto goal pickup. So, you know, and I think that's kind of the thing. They're like, well, you can turn it off, but it's on by default. You know, it's like maybe, okay, I don't know. Do you think it would piss less fanboys off if you have to go in and turn it on?
I don't know. I think
like,
that it should be on by default. They would do that. Yeah. Because you want to attract the new players. You don't want to like have someone come into the game and like, what, I did like click a pile of 1 gold, 3 gold, 4 gold, 1 gold. Like that's ridiculous. Because it is ridiculous. Like things to change over time.
Here's some legitimate rationale behind it though. Okay, this is an argument that I've heard. And I understand this argument. The argument is that if you have auto gold pickup, you never have to worry about picking up gold. So therefore, you'll always pick it up. And as you journey through the game, by the time you're hitting max levels, by the time you're in your mid 90s, upper 90s, you have so much gold that it doesn't matter. You don't ever have to worry about gold. You have gold to buy the potions and to buy all the shit you would normally spend gold on. It's not a thing. Whereas if when you're going through the journey normally and having to click on the piles of gold to pick it up, you inherently get lazy and don't do it, or you spend a lot of time doing it, and then you don't have that buku piles of gold to spend on items.
That's ridiculous.
So
that's the worst rationale behind keeping something like that, in my opinion.
They say that it changes the experience.
Yeah, but it's like fucking currency shards in Path of Exile. Like, you're adding more clicks just for the sake of fucking clicking. Like,
like chat
doesn't
saying
add any value.
Gamble more items. Yeah, exactly. Like their point was that it was that they had gold to do all these things that they normally wouldn't have had because they would have stopped to pick it up.
Yeah, I get it.
That's the argument. Like I'm not like chat's. I get
like,
it, but it's fucking no, stupid. I'm not making the fucking argument for him. I'm saying this is the argument. Like, keep up, chat.
I think that's ludicrous. I think that anything that these ARPGs can do to reduce clicking, because I think that, you know, maybe this is like me projecting because I've suffered so greatly from cubital tunnel this year. I think anything these games can do to make them less clicky is going to benefit us all, like health wise. So yeah, like, you know, currency shards and PoE, delete them. Picking up gold and Diablo 2 Resurrected. Fuck yeah, of course.
And I'm 100% with you, man. Yeah. Like, to me, it's like, if they didn't have auto gold pickup, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? Like, you know, modernize the game in this areas that you can modernize the game. Like, I think that the stupid energy bar still, to me, is like, what the actual F?
Stamina bar.
Is this stamina bar? You're like, why? Why does this exist in the game?
And, like, you know, even David Breck was like, I'd probably get
like,
rid of
you wanna update the quality of life features, put a checkbox in options to get rid of that shit too, you know. But yeah, so I'm down for the auto gold pickup of stuff. But I can understand the viewpoint though of the other side. The other side is like, and just for the gold scenario, it's like I have so much gold to spend that I'm spending it on things that I normally wouldn't have had that gold to spend on because auto gold pickup's a thing. I'm like, okay, I could see that changing your experience. Like, I can't argue that against that because it's valid. It sounds valid.
Sure, but only a purist would make that fucking argument, and those guys are crazy. But that's kind of it for D2R news. Like, obviously, a ton of news coming our way, and we'll have a lot to talk about in the upcoming weeks. And I'm sure we'll see and reveal a whole bunch of stuff from Reddit and Twitch and all the people playing it. It should be exciting. A few weeks until the launch. But something always gets me very excited. I don't know if you saw this, but there is a new class coming to Lost Ark Korea.
Lost Ark NA. Come on, baby. Where's the juice?
What is
it?
Sorceress. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So,
look at that juice, man. Lost Ark's animations are beautiful.
They're pretty nutty.
They're so good, man. I just can't say this enough. Like the combat, and like I guarantee that explosion that we just saw was so rewarding to pull off in game. Because their combat feels so good.
So like they're showcasing kind of like elements here. They've got, you know, fire, ice, and lightning. Looks like there's some decent mobility, and
tree boss looks cool.
Yep. A meteor and ice cone, and I think that this was something that was.
That shit,
I know, it looks so cool.
So yeah, man, the combat on that's nutty. So he ice cloned it, froze him in place, and then you could see he was comboing other abilities off that, and that's just part of the gameplay loop in this. That's just so much fun.
Yeah. I think that I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Shut. Oh, and there's like a spell book. Obviously, we don't know exactly what's going on down there, but you know, every class in Lost Ark has like its own ability bar, and there's something that happens, right? Like so, like a Devil Hunter will like switch guns, or like the demonic would charge demonic power, and then he would be able to shapeshift into like the demonic guy, and it looks like there's some kind of element exposure maybe happening with the sorcerers. I think that this was a big. That's what I was gonna say. Is that this was a big hole to me, in Lost Ark. It was that they didn't really have like a proper spellcaster. They had like the summoner.
Yeah. The summoner, yeah, but it wasn't mage feeling. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
It was like kind of pet feeling, and like focuses on like summoning stuff, and so like there was no proper like spellcaster in my opinion. So like this
is in game stuff, by the way. If you guys are watching the YouTube or live, like these cinematics and things happen in real gameplay engine. It's pretty dope.
Waifu.
It's fun, man. Yeah. I can't. What is that? 8.11? Oh snap!
Yeah.
It's already out. That bad boy's already out. This game's so good. I'm really disappointed that we don't have the alpha update yet, or at least out. I was expecting it honestly around the D3 season launch. And it's still been a little bit. So
they have been like there's a meme now, like because the Reddit has been picking up for Lost Ark obviously, and so now there's a meme like that the community manager like basically tweets out like weekly. It's like we'll have more news to share soon, and so like now there's a meme that's like the weekly thread is more news to share soon.
More news soon. Yeah. Not yet. Not today. There's like some anti-gravity spell thing she was casting right there too. I don't know. Looks cool, man. I'm excited for Lost Ark. It's going to be hard not to play the beta. Like I don't really want to because I played so much.
Right.
Like, I've leveled
and this is like you're kind of like you played the Black Mage in Final Fantasy, and
yeah.
I know you like the spellcaster cucks. So.
I'm a melee guy in general. I think my favorite character still is the the Berserker? Is that what they called it? I don't remember. The warrior barbarian style guy. I think it was called Berserker, but
in Lost Ark, Berserker.
In Lost Ark, I think it was Berserker. Berserker was still my favorite. His combos felt so good, like the way they chained. But I liked the summoner too. It was fun, a fun class. So everything I played in Lost Ark literally like. Actually, I said I leveled 2 characters to max. I actually leveled 3 to max. I forgot about the new guy. What was the new one that we both played?
Demonic.
Demonic, I maxed him out too.
Yeah. It's funny too because like I even played like I hate guns like usually and like as a theme, and I played the Devil Hunter guy, and he was like really fucking fun. Like he totally changed my opinion on like the gun stuff.
They all felt they felt different too. They didn't feel the same. Totally. Which is weird. It's like Diablo 3, the characters they look different, but they still all kind of feel same-ish a little, you know, in play. And these felt drastically different in Lost Ark. I was like, oh, it really feels completely different playing my Berserker and then going to my Summoner on what the play style is and how I'm gonna engage enemies.
Yeah.
And it was cool, man.
It's like special. His power, his like ultimate is like an Armageddon, basically.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis is gonna show up any second. It's crazy.
And the Summoner had this big dragon foot that would just stomp an enemy out. You know, it was like, so it was completely different. I'm scared about this monetization still in this game, man. Like this game is so good, and if they don't fuck that up, it's gonna be fabulous. But I'm super scared. I think they're going to. I really do. I think they're going to screw this game over, which is a shame.
We can hope against hope, you know. You never know. It's the hope that kills you, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, moving on to Path of Exile. So, like you mentioned very briefly early in the pod, the Bay class, kind of like the new meta of PoE podcasts, right? Had Chris Wilson on, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. To kind of talk about the state of the game and not necessarily like what their plans are, but like the things that they realize there's holes in. And I listened to a few sections. I'm actually kind of surprised. I don't know. Like they were very bold. Sometimes it seemed like Rise and Nugi, and like they were, you know, clearly you could see that their distaste for some of the stuff that's happened in this league, and they really didn't like take it easy on Chris at all whatsoever.
They didn't hold back, huh?
Yeah. And I think was it
rude, or they just shot shots?
I don't know. I think it's amazing, and like it's cool that like Chris would do this, obviously. It's hard to imagine as like, so say we ever got Chris Wilson on like the new meta or something like that. It would be hard to like be like, well, yeah, but like I can't believe you designed the game around like Trade League. The Trade League's like the fucking worst, and like blah blah blah. Like, I mean,
that's insulting. Right. Yeah, that seems rude to me. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, but like they have like way more rapport than like I give them credit for, because like they've been talking to Chris since like probably the dawn of time, probably, and each one of these guys was invited out to like, I'm pretty sure they were all invited to Chris Wilson's like house when they were at ExileCon and all the inner conversations and stuff like that. So they know they know each other more than maybe Twitch chat would give credit for, but it was surprising sometimes.
Yeah, and maybe you know he asked for it too. You know, he's like, listen, ask what you want to ask. Don't, you know.
Yeah.
Give me the juice. So.
Yeah, I've never been like, you know, the way Chris handles situations, like it's always impressive. I think as someone in his position, like, you know, such an upper level guy, he's very like.
He's in the mix, man. Yeah. He's there. He's not hiding in the back collecting his paychecks. You know, he's in the mix. He cares about the game. He still designs the game, has influence in the game, and cares about it. And it's fucking cool, man. Honestly, like it's super. I've been saying this for the dawn of time. I'm not a huge PoE fanboy, but I love Chris Wilson. I don't even play PoE for real, and he seems cool.
Yeah,
you know, he seems like the guy that I want in charge of my game that I fall in love with, because even if he screws up, at least he's like here, like, okay, let's talk about it. This is why we did this, and
I like he clearly knows what he's talking about. Not like maybe from I play this game like a million hours, but definitely like from I know Path of Exile. I know how to like make games, and I know like mechanics, and like he puts a lot of thought into his responses and what he says, and I think that's super impressive. And I agree with you in the sense that like, yeah, of course we want Chris Wilson in charge, like, you know, put him in charge of D4 or whatever. And I think
they're like D4 new lead whatever, Chris Wilson. I'd be like, oh shit. I'd be like, fuck, it's gonna be good. You know, like I'd be super on board.
Think that, and then we see like the stark contrast, right? Like, throw a little shade. I'm sorry, Blizzard, but you know, like you have like the Alan Adhams, who to me is like the stark opposite. Like someone who doesn't game, is really out of touch, but is still like in a position of upper management, and like that as a gamer watching, you know, someone like him like speak at gaming conventions and stuff like that. It's like, it's kind of cringe, and it's like, this guy should just not be in charge of the game that I know and love, you know, kind of stuff. But you don't get that impression with Chris, you know what I mean? So
yep. Yeah, it's just like you think you do, but you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you guys think that you want classic WoW, but you don't want classic WoW. And
they did apparently.
Like, that's coming in from the fucking CEO, man.
Was the CEO. Bye, Jab.
Yeah. You know, it's like, the fuck? Like, what do you mean? You're telling us what we don't want? Like, yeah, we do. Like, we played it, man. So
yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I too need to watch this in full in its entirety. Because I guess like obviously Reddit is really pissed off right now in Path of Exile. 3.15 is not going over well, especially on Reddit. Reddit has been just like popping with threads about how terrible the game is, and and so I guess because of this, some of the people that are on the beta class got death threats, and this is something that it doesn't surprise me whatsoever. I received death threats after being in that D2R interview at BlizzCon. So I think it's just something that comes with the territory, and like there's so many people like on Twitch or so many gamers in general that are just like probably.
I've had some really weird shit happen. And I've had somebody say something about like stalking my family before, but I've never had like a straight up death threat. But I've had a lot of weird shit that's like uncomfortable shit.
Right.
People are just crazy, man. Like I don't. And what world do you live in where they sent you a death threat because you were on a D2R panel? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what the actual fluff are you on?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's great. It's actually, and it's like antisocial. Like probably lives in his. Okay, that's the thunder. In his parents' basement, and just like doesn't even know how to talk to people, let alone deal with his anger. So you can't really like. I don't know. To me, I was not in any way, shape, or form when I had a death threat. Like, oh my god, I really need to like talk to the police or anything like that. It's just like some fucking idiot from Twitch chat. Like I don't really care. So, but it happens, right? The point of this is it happens, and getting like the chat spam like this, right? Like chat's flying out the butt, and then like if you say something and you can't help it as a streamer, you look at Twitch chat, and so you say you said something and it's very passionate to you and you feel a certain way, but like all Twitch chat's like, you don't know the fuck you're talking about, like fuck you, Rise, and blah blah blah. Like I'm sure that has to weigh on you a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. It definitely does. So
yeah, it's the life of a streamer. You can't ever take Twitch chat seriously.
It sucks. I don't know it was that scenario that happened, I guess, was bad enough that Rise made a twit longer about it, and I don't know the whole deal behind Quinn's interaction with it, but I guess people are a little pissy with Quinn about it too, and
I think that he's probably just in a kind of a sensitive state because one, this is kind of like a emotional post, and then Quinn being just like the ultimate troll that he is, was just like, okay, an opportunity to troll. You know what I mean? So I don't know. For me, it'd be impossible for me to take Quinn in a like maniacal or like like this comes from a place of evil or hatred or anything like nothing he's ever gonna say is like manipulative or like full of hate. It's just like he's just fucking troll. Like this is who he is. He's literally the embodiment of actual real life Twitch chat, like in a person. You know what I mean? So like
he's like that in real life too. I swear to God, you guys.
So
yeah, it's crazy.
It's not vindictive or anything weird. It's just he saw opportunity to make a joke, and I can relate to this a lot, right? Like I'll make a joke sometimes because I see an opportunity to make a joke and I want to make the joke regardless. But sometimes like it's not appropriate. Right.
You could say it. Bad judgment, Flo. Just say it. Bad judgment.
No, just like inability to take anything seriously. It's a thing. So,
AKA,
it's a real condition.
Yeah, it is. You definitely have it. I can agree.
Fluffalitis.
Yeah.
Fluff,
you got fluff-titis on the brain.
Fluff-titis.
Fluff-titis. Caught a case of that fluff-titis.
Yeah, that's kind of it on the Path of Exile front. Obviously 315 is I don't know, man. Like for me, I agree with the sentiment of slowing down Path of Exile, but I do think that this was like rushed out and it was very like spur of the moment decision and probably could use a bit more ironing. And I'd like to see, like, I don't know. It seems like there's such, the one thing you do get from watching some of this pod is like, obviously there's just a wealth of knowledge in the PoE community. And it almost feels like anytime they make a giant decision, they shouldn't necessarily run that decision by like a bunch of people from the community, but they should like tell them like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And then the community could be like, oh, well, like make sure if you do that, make sure like have you thought about
Yeah.
this, or like have you thought about
Yeah.
this, right?
Exactly.
Like a reactive thing.
I would be surprised if they're not already
I
behind
would
the
be
scenes.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think behind the scenes they probably have to have some of these guys in pre-testing and running ideas with them. And I mean, these guys have so much knowledge in the game. It's insane to think that they wouldn't be doing that. And GGG seems good. I think that they probably are, but I think this might be a case of GGG thing. Like, we know what's best for a change, and then it really wasn't what the community wanted. But I also think that Reddit's a squeaky wheel. That's you know, like I don't think Reddit. I think Reddit is almost always one of the loudest voices, but it's usually not a representation of the entire community. It's usually salt fest. Like, when is Reddit ever fucking happy about anything?
It is kind of great, yeah. But like, so say I'm a community manager. Like, say I'm Vex for Path of Exile. I go to Path of Exile Reddit, and I just like click, okay, where are the top posts for this week? And it's just like, I mean, like everything's negative. So like, how? I feel like that would get in your head, right? Because like, obviously, the people that are like having a good time aren't going to make a post being like, well, sometimes they do, right? It'd be like, I got another Goblin Rift. Look at this.
And then they get downvoted into oblivion. You know what I'm saying? So, well, I guess if they listen to us, they're downvoted into oblivion.
So yeah, like that's the thing you'd have to consider. So I don't know, man. But they also have their own forums, and I'm sure there's stuff in there that isn't all negative and
analytical data that they have access to, player-based numbers. I mean, they showed that the player-based numbers were down significantly this league. So that speaks for itself. And I'm sure if this league numbers are down, then the microtransaction numbers are down, and you've got people making videos, I'm quitting PoE and shit like that. I know I've seen a couple. So, you know,
yep. A lot of people miss the 313, and I am in that crowd. I do miss. I think that I drastically disagree with the sentiment of like how itemization should work and nothing should be deterministic. I don't disagree, or I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment. Like, everything should be in total and utter chaos and random and blah blah blah. Like, I don't necessarily love that, but I'm also like still playing and I'm having a decent time. And
what goal do you think, or what should itemization look like in PoE 2? Like, what do you think what direction do you think they're going for it? Because it seems like these changes are ramping for PoE 2, and this seems like chaos. It seems like that's what they want, is the chaos.
Yeah, they want to like you should just get lucky and something should drop that's really natively quite good.
Yeah.
Or you should just craft the old-fashioned way, and spam like alteration orbs and hit something that way, which is fun. Like, it's super fun, but like, you only in SSF you only have so many like alteration orbs and stuff like that, and you really have to like be smart with them. And I don't know, man. With the nerf to multi-mod, I think the nerf to multi-mod was like the original, like, we don't want you creating your own shit. And then like Harvest came out and it's like, oh, we do want you to create your own shit and like deterministically like be able to get stuff that you really like and like do builds and have fun and blah blah blah. And then they're like, oh no, like they made that whole comment about like, we want you to blindfold yourself and hit an Exalted Orb. I think Exalted Orb crafting is maybe the worst piece of fun you could possibly have in Path of Exile. Like, to me in SSF, it's almost not exciting getting Exalted Orb, because like, I know that 99% of the time I'm going to slam that Exalted Orb, I'm going to hit something shit. Like, I'm never going to hit anything good. And that is the least exciting thing in the world to me. And I want to have this.
It's not crazy high on them where you're like popping 500 of them a league.
And like, I have an item that has like 5 really good, like 2 really good suffixes and 3 really good prefixes. Like, I almost don't even want to slam it, because it's like, it's just going to like make the item like less good. I don't know. So I think that they love that whole like just slam smile, but I do think that it's like, it's okay. But
yeah, I'm just curious what direction they're going to end up going for PoE 2. It seems like they're going the opposite direction of what Reddit and a lot of the community wants, which is being able to craft stuff. So, but then again, I would like to see things dropping in PoE that you just slam on. You're just like, yo, this is dope. Let me throw this on right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And have it rock. And so I've never really had that happen either. It's always been like, I'm just gonna sell this and then buy what I want on Trade League.
But I also
I
have
don't
to
know.
approach this from the like I'm an SSF player, and
Mhm.
so these damage nerfs have affected me significantly. I don't get the perspective of the people that play fucking Trade League because it's like just buy your shit and
That's
become a
what you do.
god
You just
still.
buy your shit. Yeah.
Like you do
I
less
still I
damage
still
than you did
put my
before, but you're
last
still gonna do like
yeah.
3 million with like pretty easy gear because you're
I
fucking
put
Trade
my
League.
last raid build together really fast and on Trade League and had pretty much all the pieces I needed. And I didn't get a single one of them. I just traded for all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So
this is
and I know
this is-
most of it, or most of the PoE player base is Trade League. So I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't know that I agree with people pitching as much as they are because like you're fucking Trade
you
League.
still get what you want, right?
So I don't know.
That's cool. I think that's it. Do you want to jump into PChild Loves Fluff Hates?
Let's do it. What do you got?
Okay. All right. This is something I meant to talk to you about on the pre-show,
Oh sure.
but I forgot. So I'm just gonna do it live right now. Challenge came back out.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I love the challenge. I'm a
Yes.
huge challenge fan.
Yes.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about MTV show The Challenge.
Yep. It is my one guilty pleasure. I've been watching the challenge since like it was originally a thing. So,
Yeah,
like,
and
the
I'm new
90s.
to it. I've only been watching the last couple seasons. My wife got me into it, and then I found out Fluff was a fan. So the new season started. I'm loving it. Are you interested in doing a challenge fantasy league? Like, you know how they have football fantasy leagues?
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Okay.
So
My
have you
wife
watched
was
the first
interested.
episode?
I'm current.
Do
I've
people
watched
get
them all.
eliminated in the first episode?
Yes, they do, but that's okay. It's not going to affect the thing. So, I think there's 2 episodes out right now, maybe. Not sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So I'm current. So I'm going to set that up. If anybody, do you want to invite our audience to join us? I think
if anyone watches,
if you guys watch the challenge and you're challenge fans, then I'm going to set up a challenge fantasy league thing. Fluff and myself will be in there. My wife will be in there with us as well. So you guys can come on over.
Yep.
I'll throw the links out on Twitter and stuff like that once I get it set up. It'll probably be before next episode airs. I'll have it set up. So,
what's the Spies and Lies and Allies? Let me look at the cast real quick. This is gonna go into my Fluff Hates probably. We'll see who's on the cast here.
It's on. It's an MTV show, guys. So you guys are asking. It's just regular old MTV.
All right, so we're gonna inspect the cast real quick. Okay, Tori competes. Ashley competes. She's a mess, but she competes. Casey competes. CT competes. Nelson's
bunch
like
of new faces, man.
overzealous competes, but he's good. Kyle's funny. I don't know who Michaela Bradshaw is. Survivor person.
There's a bunch of new faces. There's like
Tracy,
17
who?
rookies or some shit.
Priscilla, who? I'd see like, and this is stuff I don't like. I don't like when they bring on like most of the cast is like completely new people. I hate that. I don't like that.
There's still some.
There's still so many. Like where's Bananas? Where's Wes? Are they not in here?
They didn't come. I don't know. They didn't come.
Oh.
Or they weren't invited. I don't know. Wanted to. Anyways, that's it. So we'll set that up.
Okay.
But, yeah. I'm excited.
So that's my Fluff Hates. It's like they always seem to invite people back. Like, you know, somebody like Big T has no place being on the challenge. She's not there to compete.
I like Big T. See,
she's not there to compete. She's afraid of everything. No, she's not. She got
is afraid
forced
of everything.
into competing, and CT like built her up, and he did a fucking fantastic job.
She
as a
swam her
partner.
ass off, man. She swam her ass off.
Good job. One fucking challenge. She did a good. Worthless. I hate when people go and they're not there to compete.
Okay.
My house is gonna be struck by lightning because I'm making fun of these people. But
it is, man. You're gonna get juiced. Like speaking of lightning, 2 or 3 days ago, we've had storms here for a couple days straight now.
Okay.
Lightning struck down the block.
Really?
It hit so hard, like it was so loud. I was like, was that an explosion or was that lightning? I'm not sure. It hit so hard, it actually shut 2 of my 4 monitors off. Like it literally turned them off. And I'm like, what the fuck? It reset my router, reset my modem. I was like, damn. I thought for sure my equipment was gonna be fried. Everything is working still, but It's nutty. The storms we've been getting in the Midwest this last week have been crazy bad.
Yeah, I'm a big like thunderstorm fan, which is weird because I feel like we didn't have that many big ones in the spring.
No, it's
like
been pretty
we're
chill.
Playing catch up.
And we actually had rain this summer. Usually we don't get rain. I remember so many summers of it not raining all June and July.
Droughts.
Let's get into some Twitter questions.
Do it.
The first question, if you guys want to submit questions to the podcast, you can submit them at ThaPChild on Twitter, at Lord__Fluffy on Twitter, or in either of our Discords. We have the new meta sections in there. The first question today comes from Rank 1 Civ 5. He says, what are your thoughts on chase items and the state they're currently in D3 and PoE? And also, if you could design a crazy unique for Diablo 3, what would it be? So state of the chase items first.
State of chase in which games? D4? I mean, we don't know how, like, so D3 has, quote unquote chase items, but you literally hit them so fast. Like, we complain like, oh, I'm 600 Paragon, I still don't have a Crimson Sentence. But like, that's like the equivalent of almost like a headhunter. It's like there's no real crazy chase in D3. It's almost non-existent.
The game's become Paragon. It's Paragon farm.
Sure.
And augment farm. Honestly, like the end game in Diablo 3 is augmenting your full set at that point, and then it's like, okay, now augment it higher.
Right. And so that's what I mean when I say like, so D4, like, are these things going to drop like hotcakes, and how hard is it going to be? Because it does still seem, and the one negative thing that I continue to say about Diablo 4 is it ultimately feels like they want you to have another D3 clone where you have a fucking legendary in every slot, and like that just, I think it's going to make the game very simple and not really in depth at all. Like, you're just going to be after this legendary in this slot, and there's like some currency things that you can get a power put on something else, and then like it'll probably be like a cheese fest.
Is there a world where they could have Diablo 4? Let's say that you're not full Legos, like you're wearing yellow and blue items.
Yeah.
And then could there be a world, and don't shoot me before you hear the whole thing, where like a primal item exists, okay? And I know that's horrible, but a primal item exists that would be better than no matter what legendary you had on, that primal item is like, it's better. It's God tier. Like, you're excited. Because it happens, the feeling that happens in Diablo now with some of the chase items, like your chase items are your primals, right? Like your high items that are supposed to be like the best of the best. The primal drops now, and you already know it's shit. Like there's like a 90% chance it's going to be something horrible. Instantly. Yeah. And it would be cool to have a scenario where, like, when you see one of those items, you're like, oh my God. Like, for somehow, some way, this needs to be good. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. The way it's hard. Yeah. Like the way the D4 is approaching itemization is just like, it's D3, but they're making it a bit more hardcore, maybe, but probably
maybe not though.
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to really sit here and be like, oh, like, what's a chase item going to look like in D4? I don't know.
Yeah, I would say that D3 has, so to answer the question a little bit, I'd say that my thought on my state of chase items in D3 are they don't really exist because you get everything you want instantly in the first couple days you play the season.
Yeah.
So chase items aren't in existence. And then in PoE, man, I don't with my limited playtime, and I mean, I've played a couple 100 hours, but in PoE, that's nothing. Like, that's like a baby. Like, you're scratching the surface. So
first week of the league.
Yeah. So like, I don't really know how to get the chase items. Like, to me, it's just buy them off Trade League. So the chase items for me are currency, so I could buy them. But maybe you can attest more to PoE's current state of chase items and how you.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of build enabling uniques, and I think that that's really cool, and I think that that's exciting if you play Trade League. And I think that one of my biggest complaints about, SSF is if I wanted to go in and make a truly unique build, and I can theory craft and I can sit there and be like, these are the uniques that I need, and like, how cool would it be to have that? A lot of the time, uniques will not have a card. Like, you can't specifically farm them in Path of Exile. A lot of uniques do have cards, and that's cool. But a lot of them do not, or have specific ways you can farm them, or they've even added this new vendor in that you can like chance item bases and maybe get a unique that way, but it's still like complete and total RNG. So there's really no way to focus farm anything.
I can tell you that Trade League's fun to play. Like, it's fun for me to play the mini game of Trade League, of trading items and making currency. But I can tell you that it's not rewarding to get a dope item off of Trade League. To buy it from an auction house, it sucks, man. There's no reward in that. Like, the one item that I got was a chess piece that I can't even think of. It dropped when I was delving. And that item, I still remember it dropping. I still remember picking it up and going and crafting the sockets on it and fusing them and all that shit, right? And I remember that, and it was fun. It wasn't my best item. My best item was a weapon that I bought.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no excitement to getting that. It wasn't like, oh shit, I just got this. It was like, no, cool, man. Hey, I guess what? I got enough Exalt now. I can go buy the sword or axe that I want.
Yeah.
Cool, let's go do that. And so I think it's genuinely nice for convenience to have Trade League be able to provide all these awesome items. But from a player experience standpoint, it's actually a pretty shitty experience, memory, or I don't even know how to describe it, but you know what I'm saying.
I agree.
It's not the feeling.
I think that's what the Ritual League had. We had the ability that if you just kept playing, you would eventually find the crafts that you need to make the items yourself. And it's just like you said, you found a Belly of the Beast and you 6-linked it, and that's one of the moments that stands out to you the most in your entire Path of Exile career. And overall, Belly of the Beast is like, it's a pretty mid-tier shit chest, but like you remember that because like you made a 6-link, and like that feels fucking good.
And that's what I needed for my build. That's what I was after. Like, I was literally like, oh, this is the thing I want. Like, fucking dope. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And so like there's a lot to be said there of like, I think it feels way better, way better, obviously as an SSF player, to craft your own gear and then like make something that's really decent. And you had that chase there in Ritual. Just keep playing. As long as you keep playing, in that 100th time you do an atoll map in Ritual, you're gonna find that critical craft and get, hopefully, if you knew your stuff enough, you could nail down the modifier that you wanted on a specific item. And I think that was fucking fantastic. And now it's gone back to just like, well, we'll just keep playing, but like you have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. And it's like, there's no way to chase down really anything that you want. You can, go back to delivering a map and like on a hunter to try to get like a pair of boots and stuff like that. But you can't just like take a bunch of pair of boots and try to craft an influence on them on inside a harvest and stuff like that. I don't know. I think that really killed a lot of the drive to make something like super unique and super fun and stuff like that. And it's funny too, because one of the points that got brought up in that bait class was on Pee-wee Ninja, it appears as if build diversification is significantly down. And then Chris Wilson countered that it was actually up, but the fact that like you can only see like kind of the top in Pee-wee Ninja is not a good indication of actual build diversity. But he says off their own metrics, which we can't verify, that build diversity was actually significantly higher than it's been in the past. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Like, all right, well then share it with us.
Yeah.
Let's see the numbers that you see.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's crazy. I do think that going forward, and this, I don't know why it jumped my brain to this point though, but it makes me think about weekly lockout timers as well as being part of that weekly chase. And I don't think D4 will go that route. I think they're smart enough to stay away from it. But that's something that like Lost Ark does.
Here's the thing. Sorry, let's cut you off because it's like this just popped in my brain. I know I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, go for it.
I think what Diablo 4 should do right now, like obviously everyone that's on the Diablo 4 team is listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Is that Path of Exile has deemed 3.13 Path of Exile to be too casual for the dream game that they wanted. 3.13 and the thousands and thousands and thousands of people on Reddit they think that's maybe the best state the game has ever been in.
Yeah.
Diablo 4 should copy 3.13. Because it's been voted too casual by Path of Exile and GDG, and they're gonna like be like, no, we don't like that. but there's still so many people that do love that, and that should be what they try to mimic 1000%.
Okay,
it's like
I'm not gonna
it's
say you're wrong.
hard, and like, you know, it's a lot of playtime to get the stuff that you want, but it is ultimately quasi-deterministic, and it still feels like really rewarding for maybe your, you know, more quote unquote casual people. Is 313 Delirium or is it 314? I think it's 313 was, because 314 was the last league. Which was
314 would have been the
shit league. The ultimatum. Yeah, 313 is Ritual. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Ritual, yeah.
But yeah.
It's you know, itemization and stuff is still and we don't even know end game activities. We don't know anything about D4 yet, right, to be honest. Like, only that everything I've seen looks super casual and scary as fuck to me personally. But it makes me wonder if they're gonna go the route of lockout timers too, man.
Of course.
Like, because they're opening up this open world aspect, and they have so much. I mean, they are the MMO company. Yeah. Like, Blizzard is MMO champion forever. So it's like, are they gonna go to this tried and true MMO weekly lockout, daily lockout, 3-day lockout periods? I hope that's not a route that they go down. As much as I'm a MMO fanboy, I don't want that in my ARPG. No. I don't think.
No one wants a time gate in the RPG. And people are going to see that firsthand in Lost Ark. It's all time gates.
Yeah, Lost Ark's time gated. And that's, I think that's one of the big downsides to Lost Ark, personally. I think that's probably one of its biggest flaws. But Lost Ark loot is not super... It's very MMO feeling. It's not very ARPG feeling in general. I think that's definitely the MMO side of Lost Ark coming out. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. We'll cross that road. The next, so if I could, the second part of his question says, if you could design a crazy unique item for D3, what would it be? I don't know. I'd have to think about. I would want something for my favorite class, which I don't even know if I have a favorite class anymore, that would use a skill or a play style that I haven't played in a long time. Because trying to make a unique universal item results in something that ends up being bad for the game. I think overall, if you make a crazy universal item like COE, for example, then it's really cool when it comes out, right, and then that's all you use forever. Yeah. So or you can name any item, like Flavor of Time. Like, Flavor of Time now has been buffed and it's super fucking crazy, and now it's just like, yo, do you got Flavor of Time on? You should be using that. It's so good. So I would try to make a unique weapon. It would definitely be a weapon, and it would definitely be for whatever flavor of the month class that I was into at the time. But
I'd probably, now that Nemesis are on the follower forever, I would probably make like a pair of bracers that will give some more damage to, like, pestilence or run or setup or something like that, and more tankiness probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say tankiness for Necro would be the item I would consider, to make them not just absolutely get dogged on. Let's see. Deathbane says, do you think Lost Ark will dampen your love for Diablo 4 potentially if they don't do something majorly different? Is Lost Ark that good?
Lost Ark has forever dampened our view of combat inside of isometric RPGs. Like, that cannot be undone. If you ever play it, you're cursing yourself basically to find combat 100%. Less enjoyable. In D3
100% true.
Go ahead.
I played Lost Ark right before we went to BlizzCon and played the demo for Diablo 4, or whatever tech demo they had set up. I wish I hadn't, because I went in expecting, it set my expectations for Diablo 4 combat so fucking unrealistically high that when I played Diablo 4, I was like, yo, if I hadn't played Lost Ark, this would be amazing. But I've played Lost Ark, so this is not even close to the levels of Lost Ark combat. Yeah, absolutely. But will Lost Ark dampen my love for D4? Not if they make a good game, man. If Diablo team puts out a good game, then no, I'll play the crap out of it. I'll just always in the back of my mind be like, when are we going to get that Lost Ark combat patch?
Yeah.
You know?
I think so. That, I think Diablo 4 has the potential to be a better game in other areas. Like, I don't think that, I don't think the D4 is going to embrace like the PoE combat, or not the PoE, the Lost Ark style combat. I think they're still going to go with the whole D3 look and feel, which kind of sucks. I think it's probably a little better than like PoE still, but yeah, we had to just hope that like the other systems in the game will just conquer.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not like the combat's bad in D4. Yeah. It's not bad. It's just you'll understand, man. As soon as you guys get as soon as we get a public alpha or public beta for Lost Ark and you guys play it, you're gonna know what the hell we're talking about, because it's like it's different. It's just like, holy crap, this is so good. Yeah, I can't believe that you can't describe it to people. It's really that good.
I fully expect PoE 2 to blow the pants off of Lost Ark, not combat wise, but like it'll be an amazing game. And I do expect D4 to also kind of greatly overshadow Lost Ark. But I do think Lost Ark will be a great game to play, until we get those games, and a great, hopefully revamper of how these companies like GGG and Blizzard are thinking about combat.
Yeah, and somebody in chat says that you don't like cooldowns on skills. I agree. I'm with you 100%. That's always been my sentiment. Until I played Lost Ark, and it's just the way that they make it flow. It works, man. Yeah. It feels
skills interact with each other, and just because like you miss a cooldown, like you have to adjust your strategy. Like every skill has a cooldown, sure, and like you want to combo certain skills together to get the maximum DPS rotation, but yeah, like you have to dodge a boss mechanic, and so you miss that combo, and then you think, like, okay, with the remaining cooldowns I have, like what else? Where are my other options? And you have to like, come up with combat on the fly, and it doesn't always look the same. You're not just going in and being like XXBYA, like that's my thing.
Yeah, it's like I'm not just gonna spam scatter shot the whole time. I'm not just gonna spam multi shot or whatever. It's like the cool thing is too is like you be in group play. And let's say I was playing my Berserker, and I would see that my a summoner on my team was getting trucked by melee, and I'm like, that summoner is gonna die if I don't save his ass. So on my Berserker, I had this ability that would like swipe and knock everybody up in the air and stun them, and so like I could literally break my rotation to go save the summoner's ass, and then. But the way the mechanics flew together and the things that could happen were fun. It was just an awesome synergy, and the way it felt and how rewarding it felt to pull off your combo properly, and it was just good. It's just really, really good.
Yeah. So. And like we compare that to what, chat? Like is you Path of Exile, you movement skill, right click your big damage thing, right click your big damage thing, movement skill, right click your big damage thing, like right, you know what I mean? Like, and it's the same thing in D3. Like maybe like you throw like a black hole in there to gather mobs together, and then do your big like damage thing, and then try to survive until you can do the next big damage thing again. Like those I don't remember such getting inferior one shot. Systems.
Like I don't remember getting one shot by things that I was like, what the fuck just happened to me? Like in Lost Ark, I would get one shot for sure. But it's like, I know what happened to me. Like I got hit he swiped me in the face, or I stood in an explosion or whatever. Like I don't. So there's just things that I don't know, man. It was fun. It felt good and it was fun. Yeah. So, and I would love to see the Diablo team adapt that style and improve on it, or PoE 2 to take it and improve on it. But my hopes are pretty low that they do. So. Nero Mix says, what is the best food that you can think of that tastes good both hot and cold?
Pizza.
Pizza instantly came to mind to me too. But pizza's better hot than cold. I love cold pizza, but it's still better hot.
I agree.
What else do we got that's hot and cold? Carrots in a stew. Do you eat carrots out of a stew? They're good in a stew hot. They're good cold, but I don't really crave carrots all the time. Yeah. Either way.
Yeah.
Cappuccino. Their coffee. Yes, I agree. I'll drink cold coffee. I love. Actually, I make iced coffee.
Yeah,
I'll make a pot of coffee and throw it in the fridge. Yeah.
A latte, hot and cold. It's a good answer.
I don't. That's yeah. Pizza's the easy go-to though. I mean, you can just snag pizza. I'll eat cold White Castle sometimes.
I mean, you'll eat frozen fucking hot dogs. So
Frozen SpaghettiOs? Wait, what?
golly, frozen SpaghettiOs, that gelatinous
that'd be disgusting.
blob. Ugh.
Future says, what actor or actress can you not picture as a normal person because of the character they played in a movie or a TV show? I got one that instantly jumps to mind.
Not picture as a normal person. What do you mean?
Yeah. I think what they're going for, and I'm gonna give you my answer, and I think you'll get it.
Okay.
From Game of Thrones, shit, the name's even escaping my mind. Who was the asshole that shot the arrows and killed?
You're like the little bitch king, right?
Yeah, what was his name?
Joffrey?
No. Well, not him too, but not him. The one that had the dogs. The dogs ate him at the end.
Oh, what was that guy's name?
No, not Tyrion. Come on, Chad.
Yeah, I remember.
Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah, something.
Was it in
Ramsay.
it? Yeah, something Bolton, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Michael Bolton. I don't know. Either way, that guy. Like, if I saw that guy in a different movie, I'm thinking like, I hate it. I hate him instantly. I'm like, what a dick. F that guy.
Yeah.
You know?
That means he did a good job, though. That's the thing that
he killed it. He killed the role, right? Like the writing and his acting were great. So, do you have a person like that you're like, when you see them in something else, you're like, I hate this guy, or you just picture him as somebody else?
Yeah. What's that guy's name? Hang on.
Yeah, Ramsay Snow. Yeah, but his dad gave him the last name. We could have, now we could finally talk about Game of Thrones, even though I don't remember any of it. We need to do.
I got it. You ready for this?
Yeah. What you got?
This might trigger you.
Okay. No, I already know what you're gonna say. Can I guess it first?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You're gonna guess the Lisp girl from The Boys.
The what?
The Lisp girl from The Boys.
The Lisp girl.
Yeah, from The Boys. The blonde-headed girl. What's her name?
Oh, no.
Okay,
no.
that was the one thing.
Tom Hardy.
Oh, real? No, man.
I just see like his douchebag
I like Tom Hardy
character as every character he ever plays. Yeah.
What douchebag character does he play? What movie?
I mean, like Bane for one, and
what's wrong?
we don't even need to go into what's
wrong with Bane.
Shut up. We already gone into this like 1,000 times.
Oh my god. I love Tom Hardy.
No.
Okay. All right, you're entitled to your wrong opinion. Hex says, I think Hex is being topical with this one. So Hex says you're in surgery and the anesthesia is being applied.
What the hell?
What would be the worst thing you hear as you start to go under? For you, it'd be like, so this is his left arm, right?
Right arm?
But you don't have the energy to answer back. You're like, no, it's my right.
Making an incision on the right elbow. Wait.
Yeah.
Or I guess it'd be like, you gave him how many milliliters?
Yeah. Oh shit, he's allergic to that. What? Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't honestly, I don't know either. Anything with a question at the end, like, you did what? Or you how much? I think Hex is just fucking with you though.
Yeah. Thanks.
And then Matt Sturmeyer says, what game has the best soundtrack?
Halo.
Think?
No.
Final Fantasy 7.
No.
By far for me. It's not even close, dude. FF7 to me has so many memorable themes. I mean, the Eris theme where the marble drops, the dun 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 dun.
Halo.
Like that. You got Cosmo Canyon theme. Like, I can sit here and just hum all of the yeah. Yeah. So those are both. I mean, Halo's not a bad choice. It fails to 7, but it's not a bad choice.
It doesn't pale as shit.
Did you see any of the new Halo stuff, man? Like, I didn't get invited to see it, but I heard people were loving the new Halo shit. They were loving it.
Were they? I saw the opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah. Some of the reviews that I read, like, there was a couple Diablo 2 PvP guys that that I follow, and they were like, "Oh man, I love this shit." They were saying
Diablo
it was good.
2 PvP, guys?
Not Diablo 2. I meant Destiny 2. See
Oh.
how the D2 shit's messing with my brain already? Because
Oh,
both
they're
games are D2.
Destiny PvP guys. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? That game's shit in PvP.
I don't know. They're saying they like it.
Well,
So.
they have invalid opinions because they actually like Destiny 2 PvP. Worthless. Why would you follow somebody like that?
Oh my god. Huh. So you heard the opposite, huh?
Yeah, I have. From peers that I still talk to. It's just like there's like 10% increase in speed when you like sprint. Like there's basically no reason to sprint almost. And there's no like animation for like getting in and out of sprint. Your shields recharge while you sprint. So a lot of kind of like weird, inconsequential decisions you can make in a game. And the whole like, going back to the no movement, no additional movement. And I don't know, man. I mean, I'm going to play it and we're going to give it a shot, but they're not taking any chances. And I fucking hate that.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm excited. I was kind of hoping I would have got access to it to play a little bit, but maybe next go around. Is it done? Is it over? I don't know if it's over.
I think it was just that weekend.
Yeah.
I think they call them flights or whatever. I think it's already over.
So hopefully we'll get invited to another one. So, and on the same topic, people keep telling me that New World Beta was so good this time around, and I literally still to this day I'm like, Alpha was so shit. And I actually had people tell me like, that's what I thought too, but this new one's better. And I'm like, I can't believe you're so. Maybe if they do another wave of beta or something, I'm not gonna pay money for the game though. Like, there's no way I'm spending money on it. If they do another beta and then I'll opt in and play that and see. But it's gonna be so hard to change my opinion. It was so bad the first time.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. But people were like, "Yeah, man, I love it. It was fun." And I'm like, "Did we play the same game? We talking about the same thing here, right?" Because the game was shit. It was so bad. So that's it, man. That is all the questions we had. Thanks for tuning in to the pods. And you guys want to catch more of me?
No pod next week, right?
No pod next week.
No
pod next week. Following week should probably be good, but we'll play it by ear in case your arm is still super fucked or something. So
if you guys want to keep updated there, follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Instagram's probably your better bet, but yeah.
Yep, all the places at ThaPChild on Fluff set Lord _ Fluffy on Twitter.
Yeah. We'll see you boys in 2 weeks.
Peace.
Healed, better, rebuilt, and PChild's gonna have his cornrows reinstalled. So
reinstalled.
Yep.
Bring it up.
Cool. Peace.